Shalom and good day all, this is Tehillim29, back again for another Solicitation Station live stream episode 12. My goodness, it has been a while since the last one was done, so I thought it's definitely time to catch up again and do another. And this time around, we're returning back to DC Comics. A big thanks to anyone and everyone who is able to make it to the live stream, as I appreciate your company, and I can't do it without you. So, let's get started in regards to what is actually coming out through the DC Comics solicitations with number 22 of DC Comics. And as you can see here, this is the cover. And we've got the return of Milestone's Blood Syndicate. We still have Jeffrey Thorne doing what he's doing, and a number of other titles also returning. So I'll just get this all fixed up. And as we can see here, we've got a number of things here that are presently happening within this DC Connect issue 22. Yes, we still have Milestones returning, as well as the collected editions. And last but not least, to those who might be interested in picking up the Fables related stuff. So, jumping into first things first. We definitely have the Batman Shadow War, and as you can see here, there's quite a number of variants, and no doubt I will be getting all of them, or be getting quite a number of them, because number one, it's got one of my favorite Super Sons here. Ooh, and I like that. It looks like Damien's costume might be slightly changing again, which is good. So we could be getting something back in relation to a mix between his new costume and his previous costume. And we've got this variant. We've got the regular. One thing I don't see DC doing, or I haven't seen DC do for a little while, is even do the Virgin covers, like for some of the regular covers. So that is one thing I want to point out. Then we have Deathstroke Issue 9. And what's happening there, of course, I'll be getting the regular cover plus the 1.25. I really like the 1.25. Of course, with Robin, I'll be getting all of the covers, including the double API variant by Dexter Soy. And I really hope my LCS won't have any problems getting it, or else I might have to get it through somewhere else. And one of the reasons why I do actually like that variant, oh bugger, it won't let me do it, or will it, is that we've actually got a really nice picture here with Damian Wayne with Connor, with Hawk. Of course, I'll be getting the other covers as well, including the 1.25. Anything that has my fave Super Sons character. And then we have, last but not least, Shadow War Omega. So, again, they have their variants. I'll be grabbing the regular plus all the variants. Anything that has our one of our favorite Super Sons characters. And then we've got Shadow Warzone. Now, this is going to be quite interesting because it looks like it's going to introduce a new character or a new villain. I do like that Ghostmaker is returning to this. And one cover here I did decide to get is not the 1.5 variant, but just that normal regular cover, or regular variant cover, where it's got the list. So as we can see there's quite a number of people actually working on it. It almost sounds like it's a bit of a one-shot, but we'll see what happens. And then last but not least, we've got Batman Fortress. I believe I have requested to get the first 2 issues of this, just the first 2, out of curiosity in the series. It might turn out to be a pretty good series, a pretty good run. But seeing that there's 8 to it, I want to give the first 2 issues a bit of a chance. Moving back into more Batman, it's nice to see Ghostmaker return, as well as Clown Hunter. So with this, I'll be getting, I believe, the regular plus the variant. So I'm going to be spending quite a bit of cash here. The Batman One Dark Knight, it's something I'm not collecting. I might as well wait until some of these come out in trade. Then we've got Flashpoint Beyond. In regards to the Flashpoint Beyond, I'm glad it's got Jeff Johns on the cover writing this. Tim Sheridan, I'm not too fond of. Jeremy Adams, he has shown that he is a really good writer. And I'm really thankful for his work on the Flash run. Because his is one of the first Flash runs that I've picked up more than 1 issue of so far. And that's minus trades that I've picked up beforehand. And we have The Man of Steel returns. Back to more Flashpoint Beyond. Then, of course, more Flashpoint Beyond. And we've got Flash Fastest Man Alive. Something that's not in my view right now of comics that I will be collecting when this whole when these solicitations come out. And I don't know much about the writer Kenny Porter and what else he's written beforehand, so that's why it's going to be a bit of a struggle to pick that one up unless I hear some good reviews, but it might take until maybe issue 3 or 4 before that happens. Of course, the Action Comics Annual with Philip Kennedy Johnson, as I've definitely been enjoying that run. Now moving into a bit of MA material, and we've got a 1 of 3 Aquaman on Andromeda, issue 1. Some of the art. And moving into the next one, Earth Prime, Legends of Tomorrow. I'm not at all interested in picking up any of these, nor do I know any of the writers. So that could be a pickup later. Then we have Jurassic League, which we know was announced. This is something I won't be picking up. No, to those who want to pick it up, pick it up. If you like the idea of dinosaurs being superheroes, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Then we move into Nubia, something I won't be picking up. Now, this is something that does have my attention, as I have not been following the DC versus Vampires. The fact that it's got Damian Wayne here, I'm deciding to get both this and the variant cover. It might be my it will literally be my first introduction to the DC versus Vampires universe in the physical, and who knows, I'll probably end up picking up the trade for it. Then we've got some more Black Label. Of course, we've got some Tom King, who's so far up his depression stick. Then we've got Blood Syndicate Season 1. We've got a couple of writers there. And we've got Jeffrey Thorne working on it. I hope he manages to do a really good job with what he's writing here. And then we have Duo, to which I do actually quite like the cover for. Just a regular. And yes, it's indicating that we've got some new characters coming. And that's got some work on by Greg Pak. Should be interesting. Finally, Static Season 1. The hardcover. I'm afraid I won't be getting this in hardcover. I might be waiting for it in trade. Hey, good to see you, Ed Brewer. I hope you're doing well. Glad to see you made it. Moving into, what have we got here? Oh, Justice League Road to Dark Crisis. Now, with this, I will be getting the first issue of this. I'm a little bit unsure about picking up any variants, so I'm just going to stick with the regular. And of course, this one as well. I'm going to see if I can get the Dark Crisis Free Comic Book Day Special Edition Issue 1 through my LCS. This is something I'm not really interested in, but I hope whoever gets it enjoys it, and along with the other one too that they've got for Free Comic Book Day. That looks better than any of Tom Taylor's written works. DC League of Super Pets. Who's it written by? Herf Corson. Yeah, it is quite likely that they would be able to write something better than Tom Taylor. And of course, another graphic novels, but centered around Zatanna. One thing that they do need to do with these graphic novels is that they really need to indicate to the reader that these are practically DC Elseworld stories. That is my only grievance about this. It doesn't look too bad. But of course, it's going to be the words on the page that are going to make it yay or nay for the reader. Of course, we've got some Black Adam promotion here because the Black Adam movie is meant to be coming out soon. Followed by the next Shazam movie. So you'd think that they'd probably have some Shazam as well. Finally, Batman 89. And that's in hardcover. I'm going to have to wait until it's available in softcover. I don't even know what happens in my bloody last issue of issue 6 from my LCS, because I know I did request to collect the whole series from my LCS. Then there's Detective Comics Fear State. I think this is the one. Is this soft cover? No, it's hardcover, and no, I won't be getting it. Of course, we've got some Sandman Universe. Slowly reaching the end here. Now back to Fables. Nice cover there for the Fables. I'm not too sure if this is consistent with any of the art connected to the Fables universe, so because I've never read the series. Okay, it's time to enhance that and work on the next. So what we have next is Action Comics 1048 or 1043, which is in my list. Aquaman. I'll be getting just the first 2 issues of Aquaman, to which I've spoken to my LCS about. They did have me down for ongoing, but I have informed them that I'd like to just collect the first 2 issues, and if I start to request over 4 issues, okay, I'll probably start to move to ongoing with the series. It depends on how well the story is written. If I don't like the story, I'll be dropping it quite early. Then we've got Batgirls, not in my list. Batman Beyond, Neo Years Issue 2, not in my list. Then there's Batman Beyond the White Knight, Batman Killing Time, both not in my list. Batman the Knight, again, not in my list. One thing I will be doing, though, is I'm going to prepare to drop Urban Legends at issue 15. Because I really need a break from it. Moving a little bit more down the list. Of course, the Detective Comics. I'll be getting the regular Future State Gotham. I finally removed it from my list. It is gone. Imposter Batman. thank goodness he's not on my list. Get rid of his title as Batman and just make it the Iron Knight. I think it would suit Jace really well, because every time you're using that Batman title, you still got to pay royalties to the creators of it. So if you don't want to pay royalties for the title of Batman, change his bloody name. Of course, can't forget the stuff for Fool's Gold, and that is Justice League versus Legion of Superheroes, to which I will be getting just a regular for that, unless there's a variant that I might want. Monkey King, well, this is, even though I've enjoyed the first issue of this, no doubt I will definitely enjoy the upcoming issues. And here's something that shares on the Monkey Prince. And some good news, my Monkey Prince review should be going up in about, not this week, but the following week, and I really hope you enjoy it. And I've decided to get all of the covers in this, including the AAPI variant. Moving back, we have Naomi season 3 or season 2. And then there's Nightwing, to which I've decided to get the regular plus the AAPI variant, because I think it's the nicest one that's there. One Star Squadron, not on my list. Hey, good to see you, Tevye. I hope you're doing well. Would you like me to send a link to you so you could join the live stream if you're interested? Suicide Squad, thank goodness, last issue. Son of Kal-El. Again, I will be collecting the regular plus all variants in regards to Son of Kal-El. Hey, it makes for great rating material, but so does Terrible Taylor's story writing. Did you read Marvel Reign of the Dark Age, or Devil's Reign or Dark Age? No, I haven't, Michael Brent. At the moment, the only things that I'm following through Marvel at the moment is Strange Academy, and also Moon Knight, because I've really been enjoying Moon Knight. And then there's like an Elektra anthology, which I've also started reviewing on the channel, or will be having some reviews go up on the channel. I really hope Son of Kal-El gets better. Sadly, I didn't see that being the case. Yeah, I totally understand that, Xavier. I totally understand that. And with what Tom Taylor's doing right now, you might want to pay attention to some of my new upcoming thumbnails when it starts to get to the next lot of reviews around the Super Sons characters, especially the Son of Kal-El one. So I have decided to cover one in that, and also Nightwing. So when it starts to reach this month's, or the February's reviews, you'll see some interesting thumbnails for some. For others, you won't. Yeah, which is sad, because Jonathan Samuel Kent, Superboy, is a boy, but man, ever since Bendis aged him up, nothing has been working. That I totally agree with. And personally, I'd like to have Tom Taylor only on Elseworld stories, but that's also the same place to where I would put Brian Michael Bendis on Elseworld stories. The reason I'd want to put them there is so that they could earn the customer's trust. Right? Because another thing too is that they would have to sort out the fanboys of said writer to the fanboys of said character, or the fans of said character. And that would be a lot of hard work, such as those who say, I really like how John's being done now, but there are some things that I might not like about Brian Michael Bendis' direction, for an example, or even Tom Taylor's direction. So therefore, leaving it open for some constructive criticism. True, his deceased stuff is really great. I do like his deceased, and I'd rather him stay on his Elseworld stories, including like the DC Dark Ages one or the Dark Knights of Steel. But the thing is, he needs to stop using the same formula. Now, that's something I've sort of noticed with his storytelling. All right, I'll just do something. Oh gosh. All right, there's the invite. Hey, good to see you, Ed Brewer. Telling these high dollar rights to reel it is tricky. Ego gets in the way. I totally agree there, Ed Brewer. Because if it's one thing that these writers do have, it is definitely hubris. A big ego. But if I were to compare, say, Bendis to Patrick Gleason and Tomasi, oh my goodness. Patrick Gleason and Tomasi definitely know how to write a very clear story. Where Bendis, for example, you can definitely see he has ideas that get put on the page. And that's the key thing. It's just ideas that are put on the page. But it's also the execution of those ideas that are put on the page. And sometimes those ideas don't work really well. And we know that for a fact of what we've already seen. And we'll wait until he's ready. Okay. And for one of our guests, hey, good to see you, Xavier.
Good to see you too.
Glad you're able to make it, and I hope you're doing well.
Doing good.
I'm just going through the solicitation station for this episode, and it's nice to see you. Nice to have a bit of a conversation in the text as well, and also to whoever's able to make it. And we were having just a little bit of a talk there on the Son of Kal-El run there.
Yeah.
So,
which that book been so disappointing, which is sad because the Robin book I think is doing great. Like I don't get it. How come when Son of Kal-El has been tanking? Not with I know somebody's been doing good about it with that's a shock.
Yeah.
But the Robin didn't have any great, but our boy John is getting screwed over.
That I totally agree with. And not only that, I've had a little bit of a look at around some of the evidence around Jay Nakamura. Now, this would probably be good to say maybe bring up another live stream on the topic of thoughts, theories, and spoilers once again. Something we haven't done on the channel for a little while.
Speaking of Bendis, I got it from the library. I may review this, which this is gonna be painful because I know how bad it is, stupid it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trust me, I did get the Bendis titles around the Superman family, but they're only in trade paperback, not in hardcover.
Well, we did Action Comics and the Superman book in the hardcover, which I'll probably review that book as well if I can review it already.
Yeah. I will say one thing about the only thing of Brian Michael Bendis right now that I have personally been enjoying, and it's his work with Stephen Byrne, and it's Joy Operations. Like, this is something that I'm going to stick by, is that when you put Brian Michael Bendis on his independent stories, number one, you can definitely feel the passion behind the character, the world, and the story. And being in its own world, all right, it's also up for him to set up the rules.
Yeah, but when he started continuity, he fucks it up. And we all know started continuity. He keeps messing everything up. Badly. Really bad. Which is weird to me. Because in the opening, even though I was sure you were technically speaking, he did his own thing all over Spider-Man. So look at that, it makes sense. The Avengers book was good. It was controversial to say the least when it first started. But it needed shining on because the Avengers been more than the Avengers in the 90s.
Yeah. Well, another thing as well is that I'm starting to give myself a little bit of a second chance on, like, maybe some of his Marvel content. So, even though I didn't enjoy his Miles Morales, I think his delivery of Miles Morales actually came out way better in the animated movie, more so than his Ultimate Spider-Man run.
I agree.
As much as I like the idea of Miles Morales, I really think he lacked a lot of detail in, like, the first couple of issues.
True.
Now, if I were to start off with Miles Morales, like in the comics, I would have done it the way the animated movie did it, because number one, the way the animated movie did it is that we were introduced to the character of Miles Morales first before going to Osborn Labs.
Had to get you Alchemax in the movie.
Yeah. Or the labs. And
No. Alchemax would be the lab for 2099, which is saying in the movie. But I didn't refer to you're referring to comics. Yeah, when Arkham Lab. Now I get.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, when you go to the comic of Brian Michael Bendis on the Miles Morales, he starts you off at the lab.
Yeah.
And number one, it feels not needed at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand what he's trying to do, but it's just not needed, right? Because you start off
it takes place after Omen Spider-Man people are done. Well,
you basically start off giving us a title of Ultimate Spider-Man Miles Morales. Well, the first person that you should be introducing us to is not the labs, but is Miles Morales.
Yeah, but it says that the Prowler instead, like Uncle Aaron.
Yeah, and instead it ended up being with the labs, and then all of a sudden it moved into a little bit later on with Miles Morales with his family, and then from there, a little bit later on, eventually being bitten by the spider. By the time you get to the second issue, you actually learn that Miles Morales likes to do like drawings, read comic books, whatever else. That stuff actually should have been introduced in the first issue. Why? Because that tells me more about the character of Miles Morales than what the idea of these labs are being put here first. Like, we already know what labs get involved in.
Yep.
And you really don't need that straight away. Because if it's also been introduced in, say, the first Ultimate Spider-Man run with Peter Parker, okay, providing that you have those same readers from the one that you did of the Ultimate Spider-Man Peter Parker, okay, they will already know about the lab.
Yeah.
All right? And that's the thing. They will know about the lab that is responsible to which gave Peter Parker his powers, and so hence would end up leading to later on, or in later issues, to which you could then show the lab once again and being used in connection to Miles Morales getting his.
Yep.
And that delivery would work out 10 times better than just starting off with the labs first. And this is where the animated movie did it right. It did change the order a bit, but because it did change the order, the people enjoyed it more. And it goes to show, okay, this is the way he should have done that story, not this way you've done that story.
Yeah.
In regards to Tom Taylor, because we know Tom Taylor is working on one of our Super Sons.
Yep.
I will be getting all of these variants, including the AAPI variant. I still believe that Jay Nakamura.
I hate that cover. I think that was so fucking garbage. What the fuck? Stop reminding me of an awful woman that didn't even exist. Okay, I hate Bendis. Actually, I will review this book, The Abomination, but I hate the sad. Even Bendis destroyed this character. I really found this Superman made sort of sense. Okay, not really. This book was crap, but I will review the book anyway. But you know my point. At least I can handle Bendis bullshit. Taylor, I just don't understand what's happening anymore. I really don't. Yeah. I don't get it. I wonder what's worse, Red Crowd or Jay Nakamura? You pick your poison.
Personally, I've been thinking about it too, because he's also got Lex gear, in other words.
Yeah.
Because of that little clue that I showed you. And I'm sure you remember it.
I remember.
Yeah. I also feel that Lex Luthor also knows the weakness to Jay Nakamura.
That seems very convenient, very interesting. It's almost like now with a spy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have two theories. One, he's working with Bendis, would not would make a ton of sense. Or option B, his bachelor's all bullshit and you're the spy for Lex Luthor and it's really that they're a spy working for Lex.
Yeah.
Both obviously together could be viable at this point.
Now another thing as well too is, doesn't Lex Luthor also have his own version of truth?
I think so. I don't remember.
Like, and with the fact that Bendis is working with Luthor,
Yeah.
with that, he would also know the weakness of Jay. So there is a possibility that Jay can actually be killed off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at another example too, is how fast the relationship, or should we say the friendships between, for example, Flatline and Jay Nakamura happened.
It felt rushed, felt forced. It felt without getting it wrong. It felt like just like that, 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
I call bullshit. I'm still going to go and be the villain. The guy, the manipulative asshole, John didn't see it. Even Damon didn't see it. That didn't make sense. That tripped Jay.
Well, let's look at how Tom Taylor has been writing Damian Wayne as well. All right, we got to take that into consideration.
That's what we Tim Drake, not Damian Wayne. Tim Drake will be in that issue.
Yeah.
Wait, that's odd. Why did the story of Damian Wayne to Tim Drake? It's only that by searching it could be with a tiny, it could be at the. It also was probably went nowhere.
Yep.
Why did both my big get screwed over?
At this rate, I would rather have our Super Sons back together in a Young Justice run written by Peter J. Tomasi. Bring back Patrick Gleason, bring back Jorge Jimenez. Bring in Max Payne as well.
Patrick Gleason brought a book. Even though this book may be bad, they always saved this entire series, in my opinion. Patrick Gleason always perfection. Even in a bad story, he always managed to say that after this abomination.
Yeah. And that's right. Bendis did actually do some destructive work to Tim Drake in the Young Justice League.
And bad.
It was terrible. And there were probably only very few things that I sort of liked. Like with for example, the latest Justice League annual by Brian Michael Bendis. And I'm not too sure if you've read it or not.
I don't think I did. I joined Bendis a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. But we're talking the Justice League annual written by Brian Michael Bendis. When that review goes up, I think you'll be surprised at the rating I give it.
That's not fun.
Actually, I really like the layout of how the story was done for that particular annual. And it's like he took some time to think about how he was going to give us a beginning, middle, and end of the story. And one thing that he does in it is he actually lays it down in chapters.
Interesting. So, guys took a page on Jeff Johns.
Yeah, and it's something that Bendis hasn't done for a while, like with some of his storytelling, I've noticed. And the last time he sort of like used chapters like that in a story, I think one was in relation to the Ultimate Spider-Man plus a couple other things. But in this one, it had about, I think it was 3 or 4 chapters, and it was broken down into certain parts. Yes, you did get to see certain characters. And because of that, I actually sort of liked the format because it felt like there was direction. I knew where the story was going, like where the first part was going, where the second part was going, where the third and fourth part were going.
Yeah, back.
I felt like I could follow it. And that's one really good thing that I actually enjoyed about that. And if he managed to do more things like that, I think he could probably be a little bit more accepted. Like, not with everything, but with some of the things. Like, he could probably do it with the Justice League versus Losh run. But as we've already seen with the first issue so far, it's not like that. Moving back into what else is in the list. All right. Swamp Thing. It's not on my list. Green Hell. Then there's Task Force Z. Also not on my list. It is nice to see that we're probably going to get the Real Bane return. And yay! Finally, the bloody end of Teen Titans Academy. Like, this thing has been trashed from beginning to end, with very few small stories in between. And I mean very few. And one of the things that ruined Teen Titans Academy was Red X this, Red X that, Red X this, Red X that. Oh, shut the F up. It got that freaking annoying that I really hope Tim Sheridan does learn from his mistakes, goes back to basics, or maybe goes back to story writing basics.
Yep, I'm back.
To realize that what he made wrong, or what he did wrong with the Teen Titans Academy.
Oh yeah, Teen Academy, that book.
Yeah.
What the fuck was the point of that book? It made no fucking sense. Oh my god.
The thing is, it killed itself off practically when it started. Because even with the very first issue, it's centered around Red X. Second issue, Red X.
Look, Red X in the cartoon makes sense because one, it was Dick Grayson and Robin in disguise, but Deathstroke Issue Wilson organization. That was the little plan, and then that plan went to hell and said, screw it, well, this plan failed, so I'm going to abandon Red X identity and go back to Robin. It was a great story. Then we got a new Red X who actually was a thief, who stole Dick Grayson's suit, and used it Bitty as a way to steal stuff. Boom! Simple content, and even Dick Grayson it doesn't matter. I created the suit, every weapon, every gadget, everything. And even it doesn't matter who Red X is. Yep. That's what made Red X a great character in the cartoon.
I ended up dropping the series at issue 4. That's how bad it got for me.
Yeah.
And that's probably the earliest I've dropped the series. especially in DC Comics. Like, if it had been really good and they didn't start off the series centering everything around Red X, because...
And new characters who don't get the damn
they should have learned from the future state that when you do start something new, such as in relation to the Teen Titans Academy, do not in any way, shape, or form start with this.
Or start new characters who don't get the damn act. Like, I sleep with the Teen Academy show don't like it with my plan. Or with our plan, what we said, which said, I don't know, have John Kent and Dean be the first students.
Yeah.
That thought. I'll be right back. I need to talk with John McCready.
Yep, no problems. And Teen Titans Academy really shot itself in the foot and the head here.
Like, I see a question that I died. See, you guys should start with this.
Yep.
Sirens should have Damon Wayne to be the first student because, one, it would make a ton of sense. Two, it would give the kid we know love at these songs to talk about. Three, it would give all full table, John Kent, Damon Wayne, Cappy, aka Beacon, nobody, Mike Card, Wally Kid, be the first student. I think give the kid we don't care about at the target and be a good unit. They're student for Teen Academy. Easy, simple. Forget the new character who did it. Forget Bolt. Forget the other character who like Blick.
Yep, I totally understand that rant. Because they should have worked with characters they already had. Instead, they wanted to use it to introduce new characters.
Yeah.
To which some were very hit and miss with some of the readers.
It did. Badly. Like,
yeah.
You can have the student be like doing Robin and John Kent Superboy be the first students. Why do we do that?
Yep.
But no, they went stupid.
About the only thing that was sort of like the best thing in it was probably the backpack.
Oh, yeah, those characters. I didn't give them
they were new characters, but they were the only ones that sort of like we learned information about them, how they worked in the academy, and it seemed to be like to be the only group that actually worked right in the academy.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of the story, it shut itself.
It did. Badly. Really
badly.
Yeah.
And idea was there, but there's just hollow story writing.
Also the Danny Lennox, spoilers, I need to talk John McCready. It's Billy Blick. Who? Yep. Who's Blick? I know who this kid is. I know who this guy was. I felt confused. Also, you know, another Lennox involved. And we met Lennox. Wait, what? You can't do another Lennox. I'm so confused. What's happening? Then Blick gets stabbed and they died. Okay, he did not die at all. He survived, but that's bullshit. But then we found one kid at the heat vision. What? I'm confused. What? How did he get a heat vision? Is it a Kryptonian? No. Apparently he's not even. What? My brain on my skull to bring the things. That's him and John Can involved. Who should have done that? Wait a second. One couldn't have been John. That's him and John at the very beginning. I break on my skull to be the things. Also, every time I get blown up, and then when it escapes. Great job, hello. Great job. Also, Beast Boy 7 got hurt. Great. So we're kind of future state bullshit.
Yeah.
There's no future state. Show me. I hate that.
I also like with this DC Connect is that we finally get the Jeremy Adams.
I love that book. That's my favorite. That's my favorite DC book coming out. DC book. It reminds me more of Tamaji's work. But Jeremy Adams.
Yep.
Right. If you love Wally, if you love Wally's kids, that's the book for you. I love Wally with my favorite. I'm hoping that book not get canceled. If it does, I'm gonna be pissed. That's the only book I'm reading besides Wally. That's great. That keeps me my spirits at the high. And
not only that,
I have left.
Yeah, not only that, I've also let my LCS know that I have actually been enjoying the Flash Jeremy Adams run, so I could be getting some more issues of that through them. I should be working on issue, what is it? Flash issue 779 sometime this week. So that'll be really good.
And the general plot.
Yep, and that will be scheduled along with whatever comics is going to be going with that. And what I've read of it so far, I really enjoy it. And I'm glad that they have announced the softcover trade for the Adams run, because I've let my LCS. I want to get this. I know I don't normally get Flash stuff.
By the way, going up in the Academy.
Wally.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, wait, go on. Can you go up a sec?
I certainly can.
Yeah, wait, stop that. Like, the Burning Cover in the Academy, that's the best cover of all in the Academy. The Great Beast Boy, I love that cover. Because it's so long, so cute, and makes me happy. Even if the book is trash, the Burning Cover is one of the Britney that came out of that madness.
Agreed.
But not, fuck the end of the Academy. I'm glad I got canceled, and glad that thing is the ending. Thank God. Maybe we could buy it. Oh, who am I kidding? We had one good book one time at a meeting, and then it all went to shit in the glass who fucked it up.
Well, that's why. Another thing too is when Future State came out.
Yeah.
For the channel, I had already decided that I'm going to put it through the ringer of going through Fool's Gold.
Yeah. I hate Future State.
And that meant every issue connected to Future State.
That made all issue, even the Batman, the Awful and Shooter Squad.
Now, I'll say one thing: it was bloody hard work. I managed to get it done, but it was bloody hard work.
I could review every Future State book that was really mental, but holy shit! So like the Superman book, okay, not Action Comics 5, Action Comics don't get the Bill Kane Johnson. His book made sense. The Future State book against Superman with our boy John. Oh, it was awful. What the fuck? Tom Taylor's not like that book, thank God. But you have another letter. It made no fucking sense. It was stupid. What? So John in the bomb was chopping the future and planning out the way to start this Brainiac? What the fuck? What am I reading? That is stupid. Fuck. And by anyway, you understood he fucked up. Oh, I fucked up. Mission was a bad idea. You think? No shit, Sean. You caught that mess and now you messed up? What the fuck was I reading that crap? It was so stupid. I hate that story. That was so fucking stupid. I wonder what's what? Tailored or Future State garbage?
Good question. Oops. I need to fix that up. All right. We'll move on. So I should be collecting more Jeremy Adams Flash. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now, time to move on to some of the rest.
Night Times in the Wake. I don't read that story. Swamp Thing, I just won a long time ago. I don't really care. Never gets money back out Swamp Thing, but I got nothing.
Yeah, I'm not picking up either of them either, but I do like Ram V's storytelling.
Same.
And I'll say one thing. I actually quite liked his future state Catwoman.
Oh yeah, he did like that. I think that was good.
Like for a character that I'm not too fond of, even though I do prefer Talia over Selena, I actually quite like what he did in the story there, because in it you ended up seeing Selena also meet up with Talia.
That was fun.
That sort of reminded me of what was it? What was that run that I picked up? Gotham City Sirens.
Yeah.
A little bit. Now, to those who have read through the Gotham City Sirens, what happens in Gotham City Sirens is that Selena does end up meeting up with Talia al Ghul, and in essence, she somewhat, gets a bit of self-defense lessons from her, and I thought that was really interesting. So seeing the character sort of like address these two characters, both trying to save Batman.
Yeah.
It made me feel a little bit towards the character, and it almost felt like that they had both planned what was going to happen with the saving of Bruce Wayne. And okay, with that iteration of Catwoman in the first and second issue in the Future State, I actually liked. I mean, I actually liked it, and I normally don't. I'm normally not big into Catwoman, but in regards to how it was written, how it was done, how it was executed, great work, Ram V. You've helped me show some effort and even some interest in Catwoman, but also being very smart about it and showing even the importance of Talia al Ghul that was used in the execution.
One thing that confused me in general with the future state nonsense is that there's no Damon Wayne. Wait,
yes.
Let me get this straight. So we have John Deadman, a complete idiot and future state bullshit. We have Tim Drake fighting the magistrate nonsense, but thank God magistrate finally over. That the garbage is finally gone. And we don't do that shit anymore. That's the good news, so that's good at least. But back on track. But we have Robin, Tim Drake Robin, we have Thunder Brown, Cassandra Cain, Nightwing, Jace Fox, who's so boring. I just don't care what the character usually care. Why is he eating Batman? He doesn't need no Batman. I go in whatever days, but we were telling that shit. But Bruce Wayne Batman and also Batman Magistrate, but no Damian Wayne.
We had
that makes no sense.
Yeah. There was no Damian Wayne at all that was present. Though there was a supposed hint that he might have been there, but it doesn't mean that was accurate. We did get to see him in somewhat like a type of flashback or hallucination.
Some people thought he was a magistrate, but I thought both at the very beginning. I knew he wasn't a peacekeeper.
Yeah.
That would make no sense.
Yeah, I remember hearing people saying that, oh, Damien must be Red X. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, no. That's never going to happen.
Looking at the build, no, it's not him. I'm sorry, but ourselves, like being Super Sons readers, customers, fans, we pretty much pay close attention to our characters that we really enjoy.
But I knew for the very beginning right up not Damon Wayne. Because one, that would make no sense. Two, even though I hate Adam Garcia that book with the brain bag, that book broke me the same way I think what Bendis broke me with the Superman I do about John. But I cannot see Damon Wayne because of Red X. Because that didn't fit his character at all. Luckily, the good news is at least Josh Wayne fixed the Damon Wayne character. And he had to go and get a love interest with a Flatline. Yay! But he's in a good love interest. But John in a bad love interest.
I'll say one thing as well in regards to Joshua Williamson's work with Robin. The way that last issue ended, it felt like they were friends. Like the characters were friends, not shipped.
Yeah.
Together. So it still leaves it open for Damien to meet other people and whatever else. I also loved what Rachel Gould said.
Yeah, that was funny. Like,
it was like just like his father.
that made my entire dream.
I love that. And then Talia walks away.
Yeah.
I'm going to look forward to reviewing that on the channel. I really am. And absolutely incredible. And I'm glad the Lazarus tournament thing is all over. Now it's time to move on to the next. And we're already giving some spoilers of what's going to be happening in the next issue. No, without the words. That's great.
Oh yeah, with Respawn. You find out who Respawn is.
Yes.
Kind of. Sort of. He has white hair. He might be. It's Grant Wilson. It makes sense.
They've already shown a bit of a picture of sorts. Actually, what I'll do is I'll share the link to you. I don't care that it's through CBR. All right, I'll send it to the private so you can pull it up on your end.
Okay.
And it'll show you. They also have a link to the Deathstroke one, to which they do show the face of who is under Respawn's cowl. And my first thoughts were in regards to something that was happening in the Justice League run. I thought it might have been maybe a clone of Deathstroke. Even though we know who was working on the Justice League run.
Yeah.
But with the face reveal, and also what was sort of shared in the last issue of Robin, to which we saw Ravager have a look at the face, but we never got to see the face.
Yeah.
It made it very interesting.
The question is though, who is it? Who is it Respawn? Is it Grant Wilson? If it is, I won't be shocked. But if it is Grant Wilson, if it's someone else, then that isn't question because it is Deathstroke Junior or Deathstroke right now from the past.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
All right. Whilst you're working on getting that up and having a look at it, I'll move on to Wonder Woman. I'm not getting any of these.
I'm not even going. No comment.
Starting to move into the end of the comics and the collected editions. World of Krypton. I really actually liked that cover for World of Krypton last issue.
Oh yeah, because we forgot about the thing.
Yeah. I am still reviewing it on the channel. So it's going to be very interesting. I do have a slight criticism in regards to the series. I understand it's sort of like meant to be working around the House of Owl plus other things and the House of Sun. I do like that idea of it because we get to see some of the happenings between those houses and like what some houses specialize in more than others, such as one might work specific, or you might have one character that more specifically working in the area of science. You've got one house that's sort of like the House of War, another one the House of something else. Like in that, it's very clever in that instance. But one thing I have started to bring up about especially the latest issue, I think it was issue 3, which will be going up on the channel, is that I think it's now time for the Venditti to sort of like bring in a countdown to Krypton's last days.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key thing that is really missing. And it was sort of like show the urgency that's about to take place on Krypton to what they must do to sort of like, in essence, to try to survive, or what will happen next, or who will come in that might cause some form of preservation of like some of the Kryptonians, plus what will happen with the planet, whatever else. If that can be brought in, say, in issue 4, I don't know that it will or not. He might decide to bring it in issue 5. But I really think it needs to be started now in the run. Like, if you're starting to reach the end of this series run, the countdown for Krypton must be started now. So starting from issue 4 to issue 6, to which we get to finally see Kal-El leave Krypton, whatever happens with Kara. And then finally we get to see the death of the planet. One thing I really enjoyed with Venditti's Superman 78, I loved what happened there at the end.
Yeah.
It was an absolute incredible end of story. Very touching, and it was 10 times better. And I'm going to say it, it's 10 times better than what bloody Tom Taylor's putting out there right now.
Agreed. However, there's one down here, Tom Taylor, the Nightwing stuff.
Superman and his Dark Knights of Steel. Jumping into the collected editions, the Superman.
Well, speaking of Taylor, one thing I do want to talk about Taylor is the Nightwing issue. The one thing that came out that mattered was the flashback. The flashback, the best thing came out of that issue, as I said in my review of Nightwing. And it made me happy. But I was sad and angry because it's only a 10-year-old John Kent. What the hell? It's only being a 10-year-old kid we don't love me Nightwing. I want that story. That story more interesting. I want to do more than that. I don't want to be an imposter. Give me my RJ back. What is it? Damn. It's maddening.
I totally understand your rant there, Chevy. I totally understand your rant. Moving into the collected edition of the Omnibus.
52.
52 Omnibus.
I love that story. I love that series.
I have heard it is actually a very good run. Mm-hmm. But I need to find the time to collect it. So, not only that,
$150.
Between all that, I still need to make sure I finish a fair amount of trades before I even think about picking it up.
One for $150, which is expensive beyond hell. Wait, what?
Yeah.
$150. I'm not rich.
Yeah. And that moved into, say, currency conversion of the Australian dollar. Yeah. It's going to be a big pain in the bum for the Australian dollar, especially for me down here. Then we've got Absolute Swamp Thing by Len Wayne.
A great series. It's a fan horror. Check it out.
Yeah.
Also, Batman Avengers in Scene 2, with 4 hours.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that was a thing. Man, time flies.
Yep. Then we've got the Batman Court of Owls stuff.
Oh, yeah, the little mask. Wait, they're bringing that back?
Yep. Oh, come on.
Oh, shit.
What is this thing doing? Okay, I might need to do this.
Dang you, Adobe. You messed everything up again.
Yep. Okay. We'll move to the next page.
Corbett Imagine book set. I'll read it again. The best-selling epic New Gotham died. Wait, what?
No, you
24
want me
hours back in the
to?
Million book that Matt set along a 3 paperback copy of 12 hours. Click issue 1 through 7. Who the replica PVC album map with elastic band. It must have a fan Scott Snyder to put a critically clean tip on the Dark Knight. While that part is true, at the same time, though, yeah, Scott Snyder Batman has some problems, which I will be reviewing Endgame, which I got that from the library, the Joker Endgame book, which is very correct. Issues, 40 and some annual stuff. They want my advice. Just read the Endgame stuff. Do not read the tie-ins. Which I will be reviewing this. We did what readings.
Well, to be honest, about the only thing of Scott Snyder's that I've probably picked up has been his Justice League titles done for the Rebirth.
I love Scott Snyder. That book was amazing.
Yeah. There were actually some really nice stories in that. But I also like that he teams up with Tinian too, because sometimes when Scott Snyder sort of like fails to bring out something of importance, Tinian can sort of like help clear that up in his story.
Yeah.
And I found that with the, I think it was the Batman and Robin Eternal.
Yes.
I still need to pick up the Batman Eternal run.
Oh yeah, the job of that into 70 Brown again, spoiler.
Yeah. In the Batman and Robin Eternal, I like that we had Cassandra Cain in it and a couple of other things in it.
One thing I didn't know about that story with the main villain, Mother was born villain, and plus Cassandra Cain origin, I was disappointed with that origin. They butchered that kid. Why?
There is one scene that I do enjoy in the Batman and Robin Eternal, but it's towards the end.
Yeah.
And we have Damian Wayne make his appearance.
Yeah, that is adorable.
We get to see Damian Wayne sort of like share a bit of a flashback experience of when he was like talking with his father. And I really like that scene. And you get to see the scene, and he's sort of like, he brings up these things about the Bat family members. And Bruce basically says, or he basically puts it down as, you're seeing it wrong, Damien.
Yeah, that was funny.
And the way that story is brought across is that I'm not training you to be soldiers.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. That's the thing. I'm not training you to be soldiers, because you actually learn in the run that the way the villain was working is that they were basically training kids to be child soldiers. Kids to be child soldiers. Now,
speaking of Batman, we have Tom King's Batman, the final volume of that book. Yay! Huzzah! The book that he destroyed everything. What Bendis is Superman? Talking down what the hell? Which I don't get it. When he started, it was amazing. But when it went to shit, issue 50, it all went down a little bad. It got stupid.
Yes, it did.
And now we're trying to get the final volume of that story, deluxe edition of Tom King Batman.
Yep.
Yay. I'm not buying that book. If I dropped out talking about a long time ago, it got stupid.
If anything, I would probably pick up only certain volumes or trades in connection.
The only hardcover I got from Talking Batman is the Double D stuff, because I'm really happy, because but my favorite color Superman will have to be a family, to be a couple with with our boy John, the 10-year-old boy, and you haven't done that story, made me happy. It was a great at the couple story.
Yep.
Plus, because I didn't win that story, we got Nami in that story. I was really happy.
Yep.
But after issue 50, that's where everyone went to shit.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Rules of Engagement arc.
Yeah.
Because in that you did have a bit of time with some of the Bat family members, and then from the Bat family members, it moved into a scene with both Damien and Nightwing, or Dick Grayson, and it was really nice. And that I thought was like a really nice little scene that he had put in there.
But he had to go like John. He had to go on John that story. That made me smile when Superman shows up.
Yep. And I do like Superman's response in regards to that.
Yeah,
what he said. You do that and John won't be happy. And it's like, oh, you got me there. All right. Birds of Prey Whitewater.
I know what that is. No comment.
The Checkmate. This is going to be in softcover. So thank you.
Fuck that. I'm not going to read Checkmate. Checkmate broke me. It would have been reviving, but much more boring. That's what I'm saying. Both books are bad. I didn't read Checkmate. I feel to read it now. But if I ever review it, I'll read it for review purposes. I won't like it. But we do with something that keep me pretty mental. Oh, who am I kidding? It'll drive me mental. That's a bot.
Thank you for the bots that are showing for the channel. You help with the reviews.
You help with the reviews. John McCurry and Omar are bots. I say go with them. They keep showing everywhere, which is weird. Even if you block them, they'll still come back. Like they're bots. So
yeah, I know. Then we've got
Green Lantern Horrorface.
Yeah, just
yeah. Oh yeah. Now I remember what that's the new Green Lantern book with him. I forget right now. Book Jeffrey Thorne.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what the hell going on Green Lantern anymore. I'm so confused. What is even happening? Like, John Stewart, oh my god. This other bad guy, who's the other god. I'm so confused. Like, can you explain it? You got lost.
I'm not even following the Jeffrey Thorne Green Lantern run anyway. But you know what? One thing I have been enjoying, and this is sort of like being the best thing in regards to the Justice League comics coming out. And that is the backstories of Justice League Dark by Ramvi. And I will be getting the
trade which
I will be
good. About time now we got good Justice League Dark. But that's what been made one of the good that come out Bendis nonsense. And the Bendis now like that book, but at least Justice League Dark is the one getting into Bendis bullshit.
The last Justice League Dark that I enjoyed was around Rebirth. I think Tinian was working on it.
Yeah, Tinian.
Absolutely incredible. Not only did that come out, but they also had Justice League Odyssey.
Yep.
That
was
story too. That I would also recommend. Then we've got the Justice League Infinity and Last Ride. Both of these I'm not collecting, but I have heard both were enjoyable. Maybe I might want to collect both of them later on, so I'm not going to jump too fast into it. Then, of course, we've got Nightwing Fear State.
I don't give a Fear State. Fear State broke me. No. No. Like, Fear State had a story I don't care what, but they dropped the ball hard.
Well,
how did you screw that up? But no, it has got the magistrate bullshit, which I get it. I really that story was bringing out the future state bullshit, but they said, nope. My scary said, fuck that future. We're going to do it my way now. Which, I'm all for that. That made me laugh. Because that made sense. Because no one can have a future state. So, fuck future state. We're going to do it my way. Which, thank you, Tinian, for putting me in my future state with a garbage future. And then you Scarecrow for getting rid of that future. Too bad that future went nowhere.
Well, I'll
Really
add
shame. It could have worked.
Yeah, Tabby, I'll add something else as well. Is that I'm not picking up Tom Taylor's Nightwing, the trades. So for those, I might wait until they hit the dollar bin.
I can understand that. I pretty like Tom Taylor's Nightwing. I think it was pretty fun, but
It's got some okay art in it.
Yeah.
It's nice
The
to see
art was
that.
amazing. I love the artwork. But the story's good, but when Beast Day happened, that's where everyone went the hell. But what? Why are we going to Beast Day nonsense? And then Beast Day ended, and we finally got the main plot line, but then we got another crossover with Sonic Carell. Which, okay, as I said, the flashback part, my favorite part of the entire story. That flashback of my man with Lieutenant Junket made me happy. It was the one that made him out of madness. But with Imposter Junket, that's where I went. That's what? No, I don't want to remember. I want to go back and turn it over to me that way. That's what's better. Give me that.
Yep. I did end up seeing it online. I'm just waiting for my issues to turn up from my LCS, like for certain things to turn up from my LCS. Because I've got the variant cover for it. I'm just waiting for the regular to turn up from my LCS. So when I do it, I want to do it with the rating of the regular plus the variant. And I'm glad I did not get that other variant because that one just made me want to puke.
You mean with John?
The art for that particular cover looked.
Yeah, the cover looked bad.
If anything, it made John look freaking Asian. Sorry.
Yeah, maybe we'll go to Kingdom Come. Maybe we'll go to Kingdom Come.
What's the bloody artist's problem? Is everything Asian to him? If that's the case, time to get a new artist.
Yeah. Well, the main cover, you can just get the main cover. The main cover, my is fine.
Yeah, because you need an artist that's able to draw up many people of many ethnicities, colors, whatever else. That cover did not work for me, and that's why I chose not to get it.
Yeah.
Like I would have if the cover was, say, great and it matched the appearance of John Samuel Kent or the present John Samuel Kent that they're giving us. Yeah. It didn't even do that. It was bad.
Yeah. As I said, the main cover is fine. The only moment in that issue is beautiful. It's one of the best things that came out of that story. Yep. That's the flashback.
All right.
Then, we'll see.
Yep. Then we've got Tales from the DC Dark Multiverse, number 2. This is something we're getting. This is actually something I enjoyed that did come out from the Dark Multiverse stuff.
Yeah.
And this was great. They had some real fantastic stories.
One thing I was hoping for that thing, I was hoping for an actual crossover to connect those characters into the event, but that never happened. Which is kind of a shame. I think Dark Crate was going to bring at least one character. That's the Lois Lane story. Because that story of mine is really good. It's a great story. In fact, I really see Evil Lois Lane fight Benedict for all Lois Lane and all John Kent. Oh! That gives you an idea. Evil Benedict, Dark Lois Lane, Dark Multiverse, attack Benedict or John Kent, or Benedict attack Benedict and John Kent, and they both fight each other and see who come down top. Make it happen. I want to see that story. You give me that. I think it'd be fun.
All right. Then we have the Flash Volume 16. Wally.
Yeah, Wally. I love that story.
This is going to be my 4th, or would it be 5th Flash volume? My first Flash volume would have been the Jeff Johns Flash, which had the work by EVS on it. The next ones that I actually got, which I've actually started reading through right now at the moment, are the Joshua Williamson. but there's some of the earlier volumes. So volumes 6, 7, and 8, moving into the Speed War arc, or the Flash War arc.
Flash War, yeah.
And then this will probably be my next legit volume that I'll be picking up, but at least I'll end up getting all of the Brandon Thomas, which I've missed. And I've already told my LCS I want to get it. So
that's the Future State nonsense, right? That Future State?
No, that's not Future State. This is like the Flash Returns. This has no connection to Future State.
Yeah, I know. But you said Brandon Thomas. When you heard that, I heard that name before.
Oh, okay.
The guy who will Future State Flash is garbage.
Oh, okay.
But Jimmy Allen play, I looked at that issue. I'll be all doing on Super Sun when I come out this March, because if they want to, I want to get them on chance Super Sons, because 1, Super Sons, 2, I want the book to succeed. 3,
yep.
I want that book to sell and trade so I can prove DC to get my Super Sons. That's something.
Yeah, if it's one thing that I have noticed, is that there are a lot of people, especially in, say, Japan and Asia, that do actually like the Peter J. Tomasi Super Sons. You want to know why? It's the next best thing to manga.
Yep. Indeed.
You want to know how to reach those manga audiences? Super Sons.
Bring that back and do it jump back to normal. And get with Jay, I'm gonna get with that shit.
Because with the manga, it is pretty much with the Super Sons, it is probably the closest to the Shonen Jump.
Yep.
That is in Japan.
Yep.
And a lot of people in Japan enjoy stuff that works around young characters and also watch them grow. If DC was smart enough, they would bring Peter J. Tomasi back, plus whoever he wants as artists.
Wait a minute. Get him to draw the book, because he drew Batman animating. He's even bad, but all of the Batman, perfection. That he already saved the entire story for me. This is garbage, but the actual already is pure beautiful.
I will say one thing: I did enjoy the Peter J. Tomasi Detective Comics Batman.
Same.
I also liked how he changed things in relation to the Arkham Knight, like making the Arkham Knight canon.
Oh yeah, with Astro Arkham.
Yeah. Yep, Astro Arkham. And I thought that was really clever. Mm-hmm. Of course, there were some people who didn't like it. That's fine. But I understand that they were not liking it because it's sort of like didn't meet the game story accuracy. But I like that it's not game story accurate.
Same.
The reason why is that sometimes you wouldn't expect the villain to be a woman.
Yeah, it's something different. And by the way, Arkham Knight was just a interesting concept, but executing it was more under the red hood. We did that story.
Exactly.
So we can't mention Arkham Knight, so fuck it. With my I don't care.
That is exactly right, because with Arkham Knight, it was basically the Under the Red Hood story, just repurposed, changed to something else. Yes, you still learn that. Yes, it's Jason Todd. And you do get that reveal in the game. No matter how many times you play it, it's not going to change the story of it.
Yep.
But when we move to the area of the comics, you can actually bring in a new character, especially if it's a part of DC canon.
I am pissed that Arkham Knight killed off. That made me mad. What? You built this character and you kill all off screen?
Yep.
That.
Now, another good thing as well with the Peter J. Tomasi run is that we ended up getting a bit of a one-shot in between the Peter J. Tomasi run, and it was a Tom Taylor story. And for one-off stories, this is where I think Tom Taylor can be good for, not for like constant canon stories, because you can certainly see the flaws in the writing. And this is where he's still better suited for Elseworld stories, not necessarily DC canon stories. And he did one which centered around Damian Wayne and Batman. And we had Damian Wayne being brought in by Batman because Batman had to take care of sort of like another case. And he asked Damian to help him solve another case for him. And he does eventually solve the case. And at the end of it, you sort of like get to see a good reunion between them. But you also get a bit of a reflection as to how they both do their jobs. And you can see in a lot of essences how Damian is still very similar to Bruce.
Yep.
And after that ended up finishing off, we ended up moving to, say, the Hush storyline. We've got Manacano and that's come in.
Who did not Peter might get butchered in Fear State.
But one thing is, which I also noticed, and I think Joshua Williamson sort of did this too, and he forgot to pay attention, is that when Damian Wayne left Bruce Wayne, like to start to find his identity, like to find his path, to find his way, he left on good terms with Bruce Wayne, his dad. All right. And when it was sort of brought back, it was sort of implied that it wasn't on good terms.
Well, it was Glass's book.
I'm not talking the Adam Glass. I'm talking in regards to when we were leaving Damian Wayne leaving Bruce.
Yeah, with having Tomasi on, you get that. But when in that flashback, when Robin, we saw Glass's nonsense.
Yeah. There were some things missing in sort of like what was happening in some of the story, which could have been done better. But you could certainly see that, yes, Damian Wayne was brought in to help free the Bat family who had become hostages of Hush. And that was really nicely done, executed. I love that because we got to see a bit of a reunion between Dick Grayson and Damian Wayne, but also still working together as a good Bat family. And and by the time he left, all right, we didn't have. I think this is also like after the finishing off of the Thompson run. That's when it would have happened. Like at the end of the Thompson run, it wouldn't have
Thompson
been
and Glass. Yeah,
Thompson and Glass, but Glass first, but then Thompson took over. And the way they were written more like the friggin' Suicide Squad.
Really stupid. Speaking of Thompson, the Suicide Squad was actually good. Wait, really? You like the Suicide Squad book, but TNA is crap.
Yeah, keep Thompson and Glass on the Suicide Squad. Keep them.
Glass is not part of Suicide Squad. Glass left. I think Glass left DC entirely. I don't know really what Glass went to do.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't get it. Damn, Glass Suicide Squad was crap. You're a bad choice.
Just quickly moving on to the last of this list.
I think that's about it. Yeah, that's it.
All right, it looks like I've covered everything here.
I'm looking forward to Batman White Knight Beyond for Batman Beyond because 1, I love Betty White Knight. 2, I love Batman Beyond. So you bet your ass I'm gonna check that book out.
I do certainly agree with you there because Sean Gordon Murphy, even though it is an Elseworld story, it is a well done Elseworld story.
Yeah.
And it would be nice to see him sort of like introduce maybe Damian Wayne. If he does happen to introduce Damian Wayne, maybe I might consider picking up the issue that he appears in.
Yeah. I'm going to pick it up.
And I'll wait for the trade when it comes out.
My favorite, one of my favorite DC next John. And that's the Wally. They're my two favorite characters. Next to that, obviously.
But definitely, out of all of the DC solicitations, I'm definitely looking forward to anything that's got Damian Wayne and John Samuel Kent, but mainly Damian Wayne. It's going to be interesting to see how things go with the Shadow War, this new Dark Crisis that's happening.
Which apparently, I heard Joker not affecting anything like it was his thoughts. I thought Joker reflected the continuity. Nope. Apparently that's not happening anymore. We just fuck it. We get a new Batman going, which I'm looking forward to.
I'll certainly bring up something else about Joshua Williamson as well with his Robin run. I loved reading the last issue that came out.
Same.
And the continuity cop thing.
that was funny. That made me laugh.
That was great because it's nice to know someone cares about continuity. Story writing.
Every other book doesn't even a continuity. Yeah. I want continuity cop to be appearing in every book because we need a continuity cop. The continuity cop could help the unit make sense.
Absolutely agreed because it's really nice seeing this because one of the important things about continuity is, okay, if there's something that connects to, say, maybe another comic, and for example, I might be a first-time reader of this particular comic.
Yeah.
And like all of the other comics might be sold out. That might be connected to that series. Yeah. And this is sort of like the first one that I've picked up. When I look to reading the book, right, I stick to basic things that stand out. First off, the cover, the internal art, and then we move into the story, to which I break down the story into 4 separate parts. First is comic book references. Seeing that this might be my first comic, are there any comic book references to which I might need to pick up a previous issue of just to understand where this story is going?
Yep.
And if that comic book reference is there, at least I can go up to the comic book seller or the comic book store and say, would I be able to get a this, and that issue? Or would you be able to get these issues in for me? And they'll be able to say, sure, that they do what they need to do. They ring up the sales, ding, and they're able to order in for you. DC gets a sale. Oh, this store needs more of this issue. Send it through to them. Yep. All right, that helps their sales. That helps the comic store sales, and it also helps the customer. All right, 3 platforms, 3 simple platforms. Then we've got time. How is time addressed in the comics? Now, there are certain things in the comics that really need to stop. Such as when little things like long ago comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but if you're going to bring up long ago, at least give us a bit of a deadline as to how long ago this actually happened. Like, is this long ago 3 months ago, 4 months ago, 5 months ago? Is it even 12 years ago? When did this actually occur? Now, I want to bring up a really good example here because I've been noticing it quite a lot in Mariko Tamaki's run in Shadow of the Bat. And one thing that she has been doing in regards to, say, the Arkham Tower is that she's given us sort of like days, but not only are we being given days, such as like day 1 to day 15, day 19, whatever else, she's gone a little bit further to include the time of day. Now, this is something I also enjoy too. I would love to see the time of day in the comic.
I could be the guest shot the best I have any. I dropped that book a long time ago.
That's fine. That's fine. But I'm just bringing up something that I'm presently enjoying that's happening in the comic.
Yeah.
And with it being done this way, it gives the reader a bit of an insight as to when some of these events are taking place, such as when we start to see inside the Batcave, what time is it inside the Batcave before they might be heading out, or after leaving the Batcave, what time is it then? And with those times being included, like, is it in the morning? Is it in the evening? Or is it in the afternoon? Is it in the evening? Or is it at night? Like, what time is it throughout the day? Even though, yes, you can make it out with some of the art, but sometimes the art can be a little bit misleading without the audience being told. Because you could put in a scene, but not put in the time of day it's happening, like to which this scene is happening. And yeah, it's all good, but we can also use that timestamp in the story to pick up on any clues that, or there might be some clues to which the story writer might be putting in there at that particular time, which we need to pay attention to. And who knows, this might pay off a little bit further on if they decide to do another arc, to which they might give another comic book reference to this particular run. The next is location. We need to know locations. If we don't know...
Well, they're really doing great right now with the location.
Yeah.
The Seneca book, not so much.
Yeah. Like, if we don't know the locations to which characters are going in, and I've called Tom Taylor out on this because when he started the Nightwing run, we got mainly a few known locations that were brought up. The rest felt not loved enough to show where they were, even by the writer himself. Such as, for example, do you know that in Metropolis there's also the suicide slums?
No.
Yeah? You wouldn't know that without someone putting it down in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And what if a writer wants to go back to that area, but when they go back to that area, they fail to acknowledge that, oh, this is the suicide slums in Metropolis. If they fail to put that up there so the reader knows where the person is going, it's not the reader's fault.
Yep.
Right? It is the writer's fault. It is the writer that is an error, plus the editor who should have said, where's this location at? Right? You want to read this location. Where are they going to? Oh, that's the suicide slums. Why didn't you write it down so I could fix it up for you? Oh, yeah. Pull up your head. The next thing that is of great importance is the cast of characters. Are we able to recognize, or at least get identification of the cast of characters that are important in the story? Like for Superman, it should be quite easy to recognize the cast of characters that turn up, but sometimes a character might turn up to which we, right? They might be an old character from, for example, from the Golden Age.
Yep.
Right, and if you're a new reader and you don't know of this person's name from the Golden Age,
you'll be lost.
It's going to be another useless Joe Blow that means absolutely jack diddly squat to you. Like in essence, speaking in normie speak.
Yep.
All right. If you're a normie wanting to get in the comics and you see this character from the Golden Age to which you have no idea of, wouldn't you want to know their name?
Yep.
And also the last time this character might have turned up, even if it was in a Golden Age comic?
Yep.
Yes, you would, because you would be able to put down the character. You might even decide to put in a footnote. Last time this character was seen, they were seen in issue of, say, for example, the Superman Golden Age issue or Superman Golden Age trade paperback and therefore, if the person is really that interested in learning more about the character, they can go in, they can ask if the comic store happens to have it on shelf. If they happen to have it on shelf, guess what, DC? That's another sale for you.
Yep.
Right? You want to get those sales, because if you don't get those sales with those 4 key things, what's the point of putting the comic out there? If that's the case, I might as well be selling toilet paper. You've got more chance of selling toilet paper than what you do of a comic sometimes these days.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Well, out of all of these comics for the solicitations, what ones are you looking forward to?
Like I said, I'm looking forward to more Robin. I've been for Shadow War stuff. I'm looking forward to that event. Team Academy, I dread to think of the ending because that book has been trash. Like, fuck me, that book been going. What the fuck have I been reading? That thing's been wasting my time. Cynical, I'm already checking out for John, but at this point, my that book is crashing real fast. At this point, that book can be saved. I hate saying that. I won't put Jones up on that stuff, but at this point, there's nothing we can do. They have destroyed the kid, and I said what they're going to do the other day. Take care of this podcast and we all trying to get back. Stop giving me this imposter. Get rid of him. I don't give it a thought question to be set to come and it's get rid of the podcast again. Make things we don't love. I know that's not going to happen because we need my drugs to give it. Yeah, not if I know they. But, other than that, Flash, I'm looking forward to we'll get a little Wally later and figure out Jam Man 5-minute meeting. And Robin, been great. That's about it. And White Knight, I'm looking forward to Batman Beyond, Automobile Vindicators, and that's about it. Everything else, whatever.
And that's totally understandable. And it'll be interesting to when or how things will go with the Tom Taylor Son of Kal-El run. As much as I don't like the direction, and his execution, the way he's still writing Jay, he still feels like a villain to me. Being blunt and completely honest, he still comes off like a villain.
I'm hoping he's a villain. That's the only feel I have left.
Yeah. And personally, I'd like to see the series probably end at issue 12.
Same. I hate saying that because, John, but they pushed this character at point to deal back to normal. This experiment had failed and been a failure. Just end the madness and just deal back to normal. Something, anything. I don't give a damn. We give it something to them, nothing.
I think you also might enjoy my actually, is it this week that it's coming out? My review. Okay, with this week's comic haul. I'm sure you saw the comic haul for this week. The video for that. It did go up today. All right. Yes, it is this week. We have the Superman and Robin one.
Yay!
So that's going to be really good. Actually, you know what I might do? I might share that link in here.
I think I read that issue on my channel. Yeah,
Yep.
I did review on my channel.
It is one that you have reviewed on your channel.
Yep.
But this one will be my review on the issue of it. And nice. I also lay down some thoughts in relation to the particular one-shot by Peter J. Tomasi. I don't want to give away any spoilers. I'll wait until you watch through it first when it does go up this week. So definitely pay attention to it. Because do you remember the title of the story?
I remember.
All right. I think it's got something to do with the title, which might lead to possibly something returning and possibly having an effect once again.
The Hypercube, but it got destroyed.
Or did it? Well, the thing is, I think that Hypercube also has access to maybe another realm that we don't know about.
Which is exactly in the Bendis Super Sense.
Yeah, we do know of it having sentience, which would happen in Adventures of the Super Sons. I still think it still has sentience. To which it would be able to make someone believe something could be destroyed, but isn't actually destroyed.
It could come back, hopefully. And that made me almost the reset button.
So, is it destroyed at the end of the story? I do lay down my thoughts on the video. But I also like some of the things that happen in the story too. It's really good. I would consider it canon because Peter J. Tomasi's name is on it. In regards to Tom Taylor's, I'd consider that more of an Elseworld story.
Same.
More so than canon. But I really hope things go well and we do get Peter J. Tomasi back because I'd love to see Peter J. Tomasi back.
I'll take Tomasi over any at this point. He's the only good who get John Kent. Even if it's impossible to get to see John Kent. Which is
there is a way to bring our John Kent back.
Yeah.
And I think one great example would be bringing the new 52 John Kent.
John Lincoln and that psychopath.
Yeah. And I think it would work. Like make it out that this one is that John Kent.
Or another option, make the John Kent from Earth 3. The crime syndicate. The crime syndicate.
Yep.
That the son of the crime syndicate. Instead of choose John Kent, who the monster, make the Empire John Kent from Earth 3. That's easy. Simple and not complicated.
And like I said before in one of my previous live streams, is that I do believe Damian Wayne can tell the difference between other characters from other multiverses. And Convergence is that one example, right? Convergence, that plus also the Super Sons story run, which Peter J. Tomasi did, to which they went to another multiverse. Right? Involving a certain villain or a certain character. One that worked with Clay. Yep, that, right? We know both of these characters have knowledge on the multiverse. Right? To say Damien doesn't is a lie. Right? And that's why I'm still don't agree with what Robert Willing said on his channel, or on your channel about it. And this is where it made me think, hold on, you're wrong there. As much as I enjoy your content, you're wrong here, because you have to look at an overall, like, in following the character, and not just characters connected with said event. Yes, Damien, the Convergence storyline, that involved a character from the multiverse. To which Damien did get along with eventually in the story. But even though it took Batman at the time to say, wait, hold on, boy, get your gear. Hold your gear still, boy. Right? And it's from there he also learned that, okay, this Jason Todd that he met was, okay, in technicality, yes, it is a son of his. Yes, it is a son of his from another multiverse. So, yes, he might be an adopted son. Who really cares? But at least they got to work together as brothers. Literally as brothers in that run.
Even though Convergence is forgotten now, and no one bring that Convergence ever again.
Exactly. Right? That story is still important to those characters, as well as to Batman, as well as to Damien. Then we've got the other story to which is addressed in the Super Sons run. To which they both get to experience something from the multiverse. All right? Those experiences are still there. Now, I want to bring in something else. Now, this is something that Comic Boom has actually spoken about on his channel. And that is of what he has read in regards to Wonder Woman, is that something that her character has learned is that some of the characters that she has met, they still somehow have memories of multiverse or multiverse versions of themselves. No joke. No bloody joke. They have memories, right? DC comic characters also have memories that connect to their multiversal selves.
That's interesting.
All right. And look at how that could actually be also played into the story too. All right, it's just something that's in the DC universe. It would actually be a very good thing to sort of like indicate, okay, how does this John Samuel Kent, or this John Kent that we've got now, which feels like a bit of an imposter, feel so, make out that he feels so close to Damien? Well, if you put in connection this idea with the memories, it makes a little bit more sense.
Yep.
Why? Because he feels a connection because of the multiversal memory side of things. It's a little bit more easier to explain than saying, oh, he was cloned and these memories were put in him.
Yeah.
Idea is good, but it does lack sort of like some DC lore behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And right, that bit right there of what I just spoke about is a part of DC lore that's already been established. And with that lore that's already established, that would make sense with the character. Would Damien eventually find out that this John Samuel Kent is a fake? Yes.
Yeah.
Because there will be things that will stick out to him that don't make sense.
Yep.
All right? Such as, if you remember in the start of the Tom Taylor run, did we ever get a time to which John Kent went out and they had a burger or something to eat together?
No.
No. All right?
That was Bendis' awful story.
Yeah. Damien would remember that. Yes, even though John did do something in it, even though Bendis did do something similar in it in his own run, all right? But I'm going with the Bendis one, all right? These somewhat feel just similar, but also different characters as well.
Yeah.
Yes, it happened in the Bendis run. At least you could sort of see that he found out that they have done something like that. All right, he did do a bit of research, but when we move into the Tom Taylor one, have we seen it happen again? No. Okay, so what's happened between here and there? Have these two maybe swapped places, or what's happened in that time period?
Yeah.
Because we've got something, or we've got a little bit of time missing there.
Yeah.
Which will eventually need to be addressed. It leaves a bit of a plot hole in essence. Unless Tom Taylor brings it in or establishes later on that happens with Damien and this John. We don't know if he will or not.
He probably won't.
Quite likely he won't. We know he's already done it with Jay, with the pizza, because he likes Pizzagate.
Well,
Tom Taylor loves Pizzagate. Not only that, where else could we go with it? Like, there would still be things that would stand out that don't match, such as things in this John Kent's character that just don't match. Yes, we did have once with Bendis. You know, all right, it was not the best story, nor
it was bad. It was garbage.
The art was terrible at the time.
The story was crap.
Yeah, I understand what he was trying to do.
I didn't mean that.
What he really needed was to work with Peter J. Tomasi in the story, just to make it work. In other words, say, I'm going to need a little bit of your help here. I'm trying to do a Super Son story. I understand we've not got on well on the right foot, but I'm trying to reach your readers.
Yeah. And to respect
I want to get the best execution possible. Like, I'd love to see those two eventually make amends, because of the crap that DDO has done. In
Same.
regards, and I can understand why Tomasi's upset because of Bendis being thrown on his plate in his place. You'd think even Dan Jurgens would be upset too, but he's probably thought, I've been through this shit before.
Yeah.
Why bother? But the thing is, it's also his character too.
Yep.
And I love the execution of what Dan Jurgens has done with John Samuel Kent, and also Peter J. Tomasi with John Samuel Kent. Is even, I believe Dan Jurgens has also written some Damian Wayne, which I also like, even in the Batman Beyond.
Yep.
Rebirth Batman Beyond. Like when he moved into that, it was very interesting, but you still got to see the soft side of Damian Wayne.
Yep.
Like you can see that he respects how the character's been written and is willing to take the time and build up upon that. And I liked how eventually in the story that both Terry McGinnis and Damian Wayne got to basically become friends, almost like an under brothers.
Yep.
That was great. I mean, that was absolutely great. And great job there, Dan Jurgens. You have my respect. And I'd love to read some more.
Also, you show our boy Future.
Yeah.
Him against Superman Matthew with John White.
Yeah.
Like, one day I told him about Matthew, we did see John Demon team up. They went adorable.
Yeah. All right. And looking at the time now, it's around midday here in Australia.
It's 8:20 over here.
Yeah, so would you like to show your channel before we finish?
You can follow me on YouTube, Pepper Smoker. I'm on Twitch, on Twitter, Facebook, and you know the rest. And then for having Italian, it really helped me out. Then I'm shooting and see my next video on how to bet. So I will be reviewing this book because let's be honest, if Hickman is gone, Woody, I need to be sent a good X-Men, so I'll be reading this story. But other than that, I'll find out on my channel. I'll probably review the Batman Endgame, Junk Job like Bendis, which I'm not gonna pay more because I hate that story. It's Jimmy Quiddy. And maybe we talk about Batman Robin stuff more because I probably could have to regard it for Bendis and bad story.
Well, one thing I really like about reviewing Brian Michael Bendis on the channel is that I do get to recommend the Bendis that I do enjoy on the channel.
Yeah.
So that's with, say, for example, the Fool's Gold, and with the Fool's Gold, I can use it to reference, okay, Brian Michael Bendis titles that I do personally enjoy. Yes, this might be a bad story by Brian Michael Bendis, but at least now I've got a little bit of balance between what is a good story from Brian Michael Bendis and what is a bad story from Brian Michael Bendis.
Yep.
And I would rather have something like that than not.
Same.
And yes, you do get to see where they can succeed. Recently, I ended up getting a hold of Sam and Twitch by Brian Michael Bendis, the trades, and also Houseborn, also by Brian Michael Bendis. Now, as I was reading through the Sam and Twitch, I will probably be reviewing it, but it won't be happening until later on the channel, and it's going to be quite a while because I've got lots of trades that I've got to read through first, plus for them to be shared of what I've been reading and give them a review rating. I had a look at Sam and Twitch, and in the Sam and Twitch, there was something done with the dialogue that I really like. And that is the way the dialogue was done. Like, you could see the dialogue, but it didn't ruin the art in the background. In other words, it was done to sort of like blend in with the art in the background. And I would love to see Brian Michael Bendis return to that form of story writing in his stories. Like, instead of having like word bubbles almost plastering the whole freaking comic, why not go back to this, to which the reader gets to still gets to enjoy the art that's in the story, but also gets to see who's actually talking at the same time. Like, you could still put like a little head or a graph as to show that this is this character talking, or an icon to show that it's this character talking. And with that, the reader still gets to enjoy the artwork along with the story, like whether it's in long speak or short speak. But done in a way to which it doesn't destroy what's happening in the background. Well, as for the reviews that are coming out this week on the channel, we've got Fool's Gold, Justice League, issue 71. That's going to be the first, and we've got something in relation to the Joker's World going up twice this week. Indie comic review, we've got Joy Operations, issue 3. Definitely pick it up. It's worth reading. It's worth the review. I understand there are some people who don't like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you do like it, you do like it. Then we've got Super Sons related content. Woo!
Yay!
We have Robin issue 10, which will be going up this Friday on the channel. Then for the weekend, we have Deathstroke, Action Comics, and Detective Comics Batman, followed by Superman, Static, and The Flash, also going up this week. So definitely stay tuned for that. And then with what's coming up next week, I have my Monkey Prince. What's coming up the week after that? I have my Monkey Prince review coming up, and I hope you enjoy that. Until then, have yourself an awesome day.
Yep.
And let's keep it colorful.
Bye.
Bye.